So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about Mother's Day. So we'll go into our opening treatment, and then we're going to talk about what motherhood stands for, our own mothers, for those of us who have the experience of being a mother ourselves, and what that symbolizes to us spiritually, and why humanity is so respectful historically, in awe to some extent of this position in life of motherhood. But let's come together today in our opening treatment, and let's recognize that this thing that we call God, by whatever name we choose to call it, it is perfect unity. It is one. It is whole. There's nothing missing. There's no part of God that is gone someplace else. There's no place else to go. Omnipresence is everywhere. And there's not too much of God or too little of God. There's just one. And everything that is created by this one divine mind out of itself. The very stuff and substance, the energy of the universe, out of which matter takes form, is some part of the energy of the divine. If we keep that in mind and we see the unity, we understand it intellectually, that the universe is a whole, that everything is connected and interconnected, that everything is part of the same. And from the perspective of the divine mind, the absolute, as Fenwick Holmes would tell us, from the point of view of the absolute, there is no other. There is just it, and it is. And this is why in the Old Testament we're told that the highest name for God is I am. In Buddhism it's referred to as the suchness, the isness, the beingness. And that beingness knows its unity with all things because all things are part of itself. Just as you and I recognize our hands and our feet as part of us, the divine experiences each and every one of us as part of itself. And this experience of oneness, this experience of unity, is what we know as love. That which we love, we feel one with. Whether it be our friends, our family, our pets, our country, all of humanity. That which we feel love for, that which we experience love with, is that which we experience oneness with. We recognize then that divine love is complete and unconditional. It would be impossible for the divine to love one more than the other, as it's impossible for us to love one hand more than the other. We are all part of it. And its love for us is unconditional. It knows no bounds. It has no anger. It cannot punish nor torture, nor send us sickness or trials, or condemn us for eternity. For if it were to do so, it would be doing so to part of itself. Its love for us is unconditional. And today we accept the experience of that unconditional love in our lives. And we recognize that the people in our lives, our mothers, our fathers, our friends, our lovers, that they are tangible representations of the unconditional love of God. They are symbols of that unconditional love. And today we accept directly the unconditional love of God. We are grateful for the mothers who have brought us into this world, who cared for us when we couldn't care for ourselves, who put up with us as we were going through our growing pains, and who loved us unconditionally. We are grateful for their presence in our lives. We are grateful to know the unconditional love of God. And we are grateful to know that this treatment is an active entity in a spiritual universe. It is a thought, a belief that is responded to by the law of mind, the doer of the word, the answerer of prayer. This word now goes forth, and the law does whatever needs must be to produce a greater opening in our hearts for our experience of the unconditional love of God and our recognition that we too are God's instruments of unconditional love. We release this treatment to that perfect law, so certain it is done that we say together, and so it is.